thoughts on Northern Ireland. As I had spoken today on the Congress affairs, immediately it came to my mind my travels in Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland and what I thought will be relevant to the present day Indian politicians. Northern Ireland is now part of the Irish island, but it's a separate province like Pakistan. Indians should know that Ireland had a great history and there were many great personalities like Annie Besant and Sister Nivedita, who are all from Ireland, and they had come to India, devoted their lives, and they tried to build the Congress party as well. So congressmen should know the history of the party and how the home rule movement in India was very much fashioned on what was happening in the Irish history. I had a great many thoughts to share with Indian readers. One of the thoughts is that when I went to Ireland as a young man from Oxford, I wanted to meet the great leader, Eamon de Valera, who was the president then. I went to the presidential palace and left and told the guards that I wanted to see the president. They said they can't give me access unless I have an appointment. But then I told them, please tell the president, a young man from India, from Oxford, I come to see him, and if he is so inclined, he can invite me. Once I went back to my hostel, local YMCA hostel, a phone came from the presidential palace and they said, the president wants to see you immediately, please come. That's how I had the rare opportunity of seeing that great man whose history Indians of this generation should know. He was destined to be hanged in a conspiracy case, in some violent case, and since his parentage was mixed, he was exempted, and that's how he escaped the gallows. And of course, he gave me a lot of time to talk about India, and I also narrated my own limited knowledge. The point I want to hear is, even today, Northern Ireland is giving a lot of problems to the mainland, and violence grew up in Ireland. Some 15% heroes were executed, and the elected MPs refused to go to London, take oath, and that's how a separate Ireland came to be born. And these things we must know. Violence and non-violence is not very far related. They are closely intertwined, and in Indian history also we need to study why Mahatma's non-cooperation movement came about, that it could have been otherwise. The Jallianwala Bagh is a violent incident, and violence took place in India, and later in 1947. These thoughts, this study of Irish history is so important for understanding the Indian freedom struggle, and this is related to the current happenings in the party. And without an ideology, without a correct political history, we cannot rebuild the Congress movement in India, and that's one of the reasons why I want to narrate my experience of Ireland. And one more small point before I conclude. The great minds of British literature, English literature, Bernard Shaw to Oliver Goldsmith to James Joyce and many others, were all of Irish origin. We in India think they are all Englishmen. Yes, they are Englishmen, but their literature was all produced by the background of their Irish ancestry, and the great Irish names are James Joyce, W.B. Yeats, and many others. I can go on narrating. So with these few words, I conclude my impression of what will happen to the Congress, Indian National Congress, in the light of the old, venerated figures like Annie Besant and Sister Nivedita. Thank you.